Welcome to the Be Strong Show. I am your host, Michelle Shirley, CEO and Chief Heart Officer for Be Strong International. Again, welcome. And if you haven't heard about us, right, what's going on, right? You don't know what's going on. Be Strong is an amazing organization. We've been around for 30 plus years, teaching everything that you need to know about healthy relationships, meaningful, authentic connections. We want you to love yourself well and love others well, your family, your peers, even in the workspace. We are doing some really incredible things and teaching teams how to communicate effectively and get along, right? So, interested in learning more, please visit us at bestrongintl.org. Also, we have our back to school event coming up August 2nd. Would love for you to be part of that. So, but without further ado, we're going to get right into our show. I have a really amazing friend that is just so dear to my heart. We have grown since we've been in the Saltwater Fellowship Program, so much thanks to the Miami Foundation. And she is the CEO and founder of Genesis Hopeful Haven. Her name is Fritzie Saintoiry. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me. So happy to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here with us. I wanted to first say, you know, a lot of times in leadership roles and spaces, it's a lot, especially in the nonprofit realm. And there's so much you have to deal with funders, with staffing, and just the needs of the community. And I must say, dear friend, that you have been just truly inspirational to me and how you've grown your organization. We're going to share that with, our audience today. But I think just someone that I could call and just say, oh, I'm struggling. What is this? What's going on? And I think we're able to do that for each other.
Yes, I'm here for you.
I know. And I appreciate that. And so I love your work. I love what it is that you're doing. And I just wanted to share that on air.
Thank you.
Give you your flowers now, right? So let's get started. Tell us, I know you're not, she's not technically a Miami 305 baby,
Sorry.
but you've been acclimated to the sunshine, to the sand, to the beach. Now,
I love it. I do. I love it. I'm born and raised in Chicago. But when I was younger, there was a tragedy that happened. My babysitter accidentally burnt me with hot water. So my mom was like, nope, I'm not trusting any child care provider here in Chicago. No offense to any out there. But so she sent me to Haiti to live with my great aunt in her orphanage, where I had like about over 60 siblings. And so, yeah.
In an orphanage.
My aunt's orphanage.
Fritzie, we have been friends for forever, and I did not know this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I lived there for 6 years, and then it was time for me to go back to Chicago. I was kicking and screaming.
Because you didn't want to.
I didn't want to leave. No.
Why?
Well, I mean, that was my home. That's all I knew. Those were like my family, my friends. I went to school there. I started kindergarten there, preschool there. I was involved in like, extracurricular activity, like the Haiti that people seem to know now. It's not what it was back then. It was just like paradise. So
wow.
I did not want to leave. I actually, when I started school in Chicago, I got kicked out of school, which is another fact that a lot of people don't know.
What is happening on the show?
I was fighting. I was getting into some things. And so they kicked me out of school. And I was like, yes, they're going to put me back in Haiti. And my mom was like, no, you just have to do right. And then I'll let you go in the summer. Every summer, you'll get to go back. You just need to behave, do your schoolwork. And so I got myself together.
What are you fighting about? Oh my goodness.
I mean, I spoke French and Creole, so maybe it was like the accent and,
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with, the cold, just being in Chicago. It's just different.
Yeah. Wow. So you get back here, you go in the summer.
I went back every single summer. And actually in the 5th grade, I started a program there. It was like a summer camp. And my aunt was like, you're going to be my program director. I was like, okay. I took that job very seriously.
I know you did.
I was her program director, and we did art, and that actually started pretty much what I do now. Like, that was the birth of it. We did music class, art class. I made them do all sorts of different things.
And this is at what age?
I was in the 5th grade. So when I started, and I did it all the way to the 12th grade.
So your leadership skills were already
yes, I had her to look up to. Yeah.
Wow.
She planted that seed for me.
And where's the orphanage now? It's no longer.
Yeah.
Wow. So
unfortunately.
Yeah.
After the earthquake, everything kind of like went down.
Yeah. And I remember the visuals of that earthquake. It was very
really
sad
bad
to see. Yeah, very disheartening.
But she rebuilt the house, and she has like actually a lot of little houses on that property
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of her, I don't want to say adopted kids, but they now live there with their families.
Wow.
So she has like a little village on her property now, and she now lives in the United States.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, there's an organization that I support that's called Haiti Hope Alliance. So I'll connect you with them to make sure that, see the connection and the synergies and we can make it work. I love it.
You are the connector queen. She loves connecting people
together that can fit well. Yeah. So we'll talk about that offline. But so then tell me now then, from that transition to now moving to Miami, what takes place there and how do you end up starting what we now know as Genesis Hopeful Haven and why?
Okay. So after my son passed away in 2010, I was actually with my therapist and she was like, all right, Fritzie, what are we going to do now? And I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, I can't just be depressed and sad forever. Anyway, she was like, no, absolutely not. So what are we going to do? How are we going to turn this pain into purpose? And I would go back every single week. We're brainstorming, figuring it out. And at the time, I was actually working with parents, helping them reunify with their kids. And then just after like failed reunification, I just one day I told them like, this is just not it. And I Googled the worst foster care system in the United States. And in 2012, it was Florida, which now it's not. It's no longer.
Say that again, though.
In 2012, I Googled the worst foster care system in the United States, and Florida came up on my search. And
wow.
So I wanted to, move out of Chicago, start new. Genesis's name means new beginning. And so I was like, you know what, I could start over in the Sunshine State. And so I figured out what the need was and it was housing for aged out youth. I purchased the first house in 2014. And then from there, we've been able to grow. Now we have 8 homes.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And so how many kids do you have in those homes? Or tell me some stats.
We have a total of 32 residents in our homes.
Wow, that's amazing.
But we serve about 276 foster kids through our camps, our vocational and life skill camps, our one-on-one coaching, our after-school programming, and our housing.
So, wow, walk me through then, I guess, the need and like what the stats show right now as far as what's happening in the foster care movement. Like, I feel like you live and breathe this, so you know a lot of what's going on.
Okay. So there's currently about 100 kids aging out this year, a total of 282 in the extended foster care program. And
that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. It's a lot of kids.
And where do they?
And once they age out of the foster care system, if they don't move into our home, they are in efficiencies or just around South Dade in their homes, supposedly to, live life independently. So a lot of times, we weren't at 18, we're not ready to age out of the foster care system. A lot of times they're still in school. They're 2 to 3 years behind in school. And so our program just really provides them with resources, just transportation, things that they need in order to be able to graduate. Because only 50% of foster kids end up dropping out of school. And 3% only go to college. And so we try to really tackle those numbers and make sure that 100% of our kids are going to school, graduating, and going to college or vocational training.
And don't they get monies to go to college from the state? I think that's something that I found out about.
They get free college for state university, so they can go to school for free.
And they don't even know that.
I mean, I think some of them do. A lot of them do know that. There's a lot of organizations and movement that pushes for them. They do college tours.
Okay.
For them to go to school. But I mean, if they don't have the support, they don't have the resources, they don't have the push, a lot of times, they just don't do it. They don't have accountability. Our kids, some of our housing specialists would call them to be like, hey, it's time for you to wake up. Transportation's outside, just to encourage them to continue on with going to school. And then we provide them with tutoring too, so that they don't feel like giving up. And we just hold them accountable. We're constantly talking to their counselors, school counselors, teachers, going to parent-teacher meetings to provide them with that support so they don't drop out. And it's a requirement. If you want to live in our home, you got to go to school. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Wow. So you're showing up in ways for them where the system is a little bit broken still from when they age out to just being thrown right into life.
We're their parents. They need parents. They need that guidance. And so we make sure that we, show up for them in any way possible, even if it's, oh, you need laundry, detergent, soap, you need groceries, emergency funds. Like we just had prom watch. We purchased all their dresses, shoes, makeup, got done, nails, all of those things. Because we want them to feel a sense of normalcy, sense of belongingness, feel like they're in a family, they're at home. So we create that environment for them. And then it also takes our village, to help them as well. The mentors will show up and call them and see how they're doing so that they don't feel alone. 82% of foster kids have severe mental health issues, post-traumatic stress being one of it, depression, anxiety. And so, like, we really feel that it's important for us to just give them hope, show them a ton of love. And again, I keep saying guidance and resources because, research shows with that support, they will thrive. And so it's not even really anything difficult that we're doing. Like, our secret sauce is really just love and support.
You've got a lot of secret sauce. Just you and then your team.
And I have an amazing team.
You do, yeah. That's such a heavy lift to me, though. Like, I have 2 kids, right? And I'm constantly stressed about how I maneuver my time as, in my leadership role and then with them and their different aspects of life. And, one is a teenager now, so that's a whole different thing from my little soon-to-be 4th grader. You're managing all of these kids that have gone through all of these, just the emotional aspects of not having a stable home or a stable level of support. Like you said, guidance. Yeah. What is it that can help you? Like, what is it that you need from the community?
Okay. Well, we can always use family mentors, someone that calls our, former foster youth to check in on them, invite them to family dinners, invite them to holiday, church, just to support them. We're always looking for life skill, vocational training experts in any field, financial literacy, employment, trainings that we could provide to our kids. Always looking for volunteers for our community engagement events. We love to have a big Christmas party, Thanksgiving. We actually have a dinner on Thanksgiving Day so that they feel that sense of family. My family will come out, my mom will cook, and we just have a big dinner together. They love it. So we're always looking for donations, support for that. Christmas, we like to give our kids nice Christmas gifts for the holidays so that they again feel a sense of family and also normalcy. What else? Donors. Wow, we're always looking for donors.
And do you also need more homes as well?
Yes,
right?
If anyone wants to donate another home to us, we'll be happy to take that on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Or even hiring one of our foster kids. We have an internship project where we take them in the summer we drop them off at different places, nail mechanic, any kind of experience that they want. They apply for it, and then we connect with the community to provide them with those experiences.
That's so great. I love the way in which you're meeting them exactly where they are and you know what they need and you're just creating almost like wraparound supports.
Right.
For them.
And I always say this is their program. So they tell us what they want, what they need, and we cater to that.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best. I guess I would say, are there any stories or anything or any special kids that stick out in your mind that you would say, oh my gosh, I remember this one situation and now they're blossoming and doing well?
So our first child, Alex, he actually just called me this morning.
Oh my goodness. How does that feel?
Our baby.
How does that feel?
Amazing. It's great to just see them doing what, they're called to do and to live in their purpose. He's now a police officer, but I always tell people he moved in. He didn't want to go to school. So we connected him with a family mentor who actually purchased him a car because he was going from Homestead to Miami Spring, which is a long drive. It took him like an hour and a half, but we didn't want to switch his school, but we wanted to, because he was in wrestling and he was really involved. And so anyways, he gets to school, but he didn't know that I was in the area. So I went to the school to make sure he was there because I text him, how's school going? Oh, it's great. I'm just doing work. I'm at the school and I'm like, is Alex here? No, he's not here today. I'm like, he's not. So
now the mama right? Oh, no,
he didn't. Right. And so I text him. I'm like, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm at school. And I was like, oh, really? So I took a picture with his counselor and sent it to him. He was like, oh, well, what had happened was... I was like, no. And from that day forward, I would stop by and make sure he was there. He showed up. And so he didn't know he was going to be like what he wanted to do. He didn't want to go to school. So he ended up moving back with his family. And then that didn't turn out. So he came back with us, graduated as a police officer, has a beautiful 2-bedroom condo, still stays in touch with us. We're still his support. He'll celebrate holidays with us. His birthday, he just had a birthday last month. So,
oh my gosh,
he's a great story.
That's amazing. And I'm sure you have so many stories that we probably don't have time for. But man, people need to donate to Genesis Hopeful Haven. Like, this is amazing work that you're doing. And I'm so
and it's Foster Care
proud
Awareness
of you.
Month.
And it's what?
It's Foster Care Awareness Month.
Oh, that's even better, right? Is there a campaign or a movement around that?
I mean, it's just building the awareness. Yeah. Just sharing about what we do and programs and our kids. We have summer camp coming up, so we're always looking for funding and people to come and teach the class and all of that. So,
yeah, that's good. And they take some amazing trips too, y'all. Like, that is really like they are doing quite a bit of just adventure with you guys that I love, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure where they're going this year, but I think last year they went to Washington, Virginia. We've taken them to Maine. They've seen the Grand Canyon. They've been to Las Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, we've taken I think this is our 9th trip that we've taken with them. Because again, we want to provide them normalcy. We want to build their horizon, show them what's out there outside of Miami.
Yeah.
And we've had one kid actually, he moved to Toronto to work as a CPA. And he said he wouldn't have felt comfortable moving out of state if he wasn't a part of the Explorer program. So just traveling helped him see, wow, I can live, elsewhere.
I can do this. I can be independent and it's okay. And
I'll still have my support.
Right. Yeah. Which you guys do so well from what it seems. Well, this is beautiful. I'm so excited to learn all of these things that I didn't know, friend, about you. So definitely I have to go deeper with my friend Fritzie at another time. For now, though, we're going to switch over to our Social Yaks game where the audience is going to get to know this amazing leader that I am learning to know, getting better at it as well. And so we use this game with our youth, with as an onboarding practice as well.
Okay.
And with corporate entities as well. So I want to play it with you for a few minutes. So the first level is breaking the ice.
Okay.
So you're going to read the card aloud and then you're just going to answer it.
Okay. What are your hobbies and how did you get into them? Actually, so I was traveling. I went to Chicago. And so this morning I was watering my plants. I have a garden. I have green peppers coming up and tomatoes.
Wow.
So how I got started is actually through the saltwater. We went to that sanctuary.
Oh, yeah?
And we were sitting in the garden and I was just like, wow, I need to
do this.
I think I can do this. And so actually that same weekend, I went to Home Depot and bought some plants and got started.
I didn't even know that's what started.
So you were part of that.
I was indirectly, I was watching you and your plants look amazing. She shows me pictures and I'm just like, I wish I could do that. I have no time.
Yeah. And my good friend Ebony, her sister is also a gardener. So she gives me all the tips.
I do have someone that could give me tips, but I don't want iguanas in my pool because I have a pool. And so I don't want to start to do that. And then the iguanas and all of the animals come.
It's like because I don't do bugs. And,
I learned that.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
So they're like safely inside of my indoor,
Yeah.
patio.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool though. Oh, kudos to you. Well, you'll have me over for like a nice
Yes, you
dinner.
can come over. But I don't cook.
Oh
either.
Lord.
So
you
it's
have to
like,
figure
I'll
this
give you the
out.
veggies, I'll like pack them up
Just
for
pack
you.
them up for me as if I bought them.
Right.
Yeah.
Give them to your mom. What gets you motivated at the start of each day? I started working out, which I don't
Nice.
really like the gym, but it feels good when I'm done. So I feel like it's just a great start of my day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's good. It gets those.
And I have an amazing trainer, so that
you
helps.
did tell me about her. Okay, we'll take the next one.
Looking back, was there a turning point in your life? Sorry, let me read it again. Looking back, was there a turning point in your life? Yes, which I spoke to you guys about with Genesis.
Yeah.
Once he passed away, I was really trying to figure out what like my next stage in life was going to look like, because it was definitely a tragic loss. And so, so like, I just feel like I'm able to give back, and then his legacy continues by helping other kids in need.
That's so beautiful. And we've shared similar tears around our experiences as well, right? Where those birthdays come up and you remember,
right,
and you try to process how you've I wouldn't say like moved on, it sounds pretty harsh, but how you've lived through. It's a tough place to be, to lose a child. And I almost think sometimes too, I don't know if at any point it's any better.
It's not.
Right?
You just kind of learn how to live with it, and then you just continue to live life with, purpose.
Yeah.
And honor them.
Yeah, and honoring them. Yeah. And not forgetting them too, because people will ask me like, oh, how many kids do you have? And I'm like, 3. Right? Like, I want to remember her.
Yeah.
Right? Even though people didn't get to experience her. My kids didn't even get to see her, right? But I think it's important for me to remember her and not put it to the side. So there's a lot of work, and I think people don't know that even as leaders, we're so heavily serving the community and serving others that we're working through. Oh my God, don't start. That we have to work through our own pain. Right?
We do.
It's intense, but I don't know. If I didn't have support and community like you,
it'd be hard.
It'd be much harder.
We don't have to do this work alone, right?
We don't have to do it alone.
Don't make me cry.
I know, it's too late. I'm known for doing this. I have this kind of skill,
Yeah.
But no, I think that's important. I think it's important for people to know who we really are as we do this work, and what motivates us and why we care so much about children and families, because we both do. Right? And there's nothing to apologize for.
Right.
Even when we're emotional about it, it keeps us going. So I'll end with this last one, and it says, where do you see me in the next 5 years? Where do I see Fritzie in the next 5 years, girl?
What am I doing?
I feel like you're like speaking in Tallahassee at committees about what needs to happen to the foster care system in Florida. This is just you. This is like, when I hear your story and I put every piece together, I just feel like you are doing exactly what God has called you to do. You're doing it with such grace, and you're giving the kids the dignity that they deserve. And I know that the things that you are doing is such a great reward for them, that I hope people come alongside you and really lock arms with you. So in the next 5 years, I'm like, let's speak 10+ million.
Oh,
let's
bring
do
it.
That, right? You got more houses, right? You almost have like a network. You're serving more kids, community. But you're almost too like a really heavy out there advocate. That's what I see, because I think you know so much about the system, and you've done that due diligence so well, and you're just naturally a beautiful person to love on. So I think there's no one that can say no to you. I think so. I just think so. So
Thank
That's
you.
my take on it.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful vision. Thank you for
Yeah.
speaking that into
Yes,
my
yes, I'm
life.
speaking that into your life. We need the funds.
Yes.
So, as we close out here, I know you've shared a lot, but maybe if you want to look into your camera and just share, what it is that you want people to know as far as Genesis Hopeful Haven, the key things that you might need support for. I know you mentioned it, but sometimes it's important to just
Right.
bring it home as far as what you need. Go
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
Well, the goal of our program is really to prepare foster youth to successfully transition out of the foster care system. And so it really takes like a village, a family, a support network to help us do the work that we do. And so we're always welcome to have as many volunteers as possible. You could email me at fritzie@ghhaven.org. And we have an amazing program coordinator who can lead you through orientation and share more about what we do. We're always looking for donors as well to continue this work. And so, yeah, thank you, Michelle, for having us.
Of course. This is great. This is great. So with that said, I just want to end this segment about, again, the importance of connection, what it means to just learn more about what's happening in our communities. I think you saw today that even though we may be connected, we may not know deeply each other's stories and the why of why they're doing the work. And so I think we all need to be intentional as a community about the why and what's really going on in our ecosystem of nonprofits that are really doing incredible things. And it just takes time. I think we don't spend a lot of time with each other to know the story and to see how we can get involved. There's many, many issues besides foster care that you can get involved with. But it's as easy as reaching out, picking up the phone and saying, hey, I've been seeing this, or I have a passion for this and I want to get involved. And I think if every person decides to get involved, how much greater would our world be? How much more impact could we cause to happen with children, with families, with animals, with our environment, if everyone gave a little piece of their time to something that's worthwhile. So I would encourage you to do that. That's the essence of what we do in our work as far as connecting and connection and meaningful connections, connecting other people to the amazing things that are happening. And so with that, I'll sign off and hope to see you again soon.